Good evening. Welcome to All Four Songs. Episode 6. This is the sixth time I've had guests in my basement to discuss songs. I'm feeling pretty lucky about that at the moment. If you haven't seen every episode, I've been uploading them to YouTube. You can watch them there. Search for All Four, the number 4 songs. You could include Phoffman, it might help find the correct thing. But 5 shows, it's like 8 hours of just me in my basement, listening to people play songs, talk about songs. Some of you were there. Feels friendly down here to me, since we're always together down here. Excited to have some friends today. May Erlewine, friend from Michigan, that I've known for 16 years or something. I realized today, listening to a bunch of her music, just what an influence she was on me when I was becoming a songwriter. So I'm grateful to talk to her and hear her play some songs. Also, Ryan Montbleau. I think I saw for the first time in 2010. And listened to a bunch of his music today, too, and also got very excited. Really different writers, with lyrically, melodically. I'm excited. And it's my friend Susie's birthday today, and I know she's here watching. I asked her if she had any requests for songs, and she totally blew it. Just kidding. So she requested a couple songs that are maybe better for the next time I do a set. So I'll play some of your requests later, Susie. I'll get to them. But she requested Into the Rafters, which has been requested a bunch, actually. And I don't know that I've ever played it on guitar. I imagine I wrote it on guitar, but I could not recall ever playing it on guitar. So I learned it just now. Hopefully, I forget the lyrics to this one a lot on stage. There's not even that many lyrics. I wrote this song at the stage stop in Rollinsville, Colorado. While I was on tour, I was having a family member at home suffering from melanoma. And it was hard to be away, and there were a lot of moments when just the communication from afar was not enough to console what was happening at home and where I was needed. And quite literally, at the stage stop, there are birds in the rafters. It's an amazing place. But there was no cell phone service there at the time. I don't even think I texted then, which is easier in low coverage areas, you know, to be nerds here. Maybe that would have been easier. Maybe not. I don't know. But I remember standing on that hill, and there's the one spot where my phone worked, and I was like trying to have the conversation, but I had to go on stage, and it just felt like it fell short. So, I wrote this song. And I realized now when I played it today that it's quite relevant for our distance now. Too far away. Gather several moments and leave songs behind. That lyric was on the red hurdy-gurdy Greensky t-shirt back in 2010 or whenever we made that shirt. Anybody have that red shirt? It didn't sell very well because it was this obnoxious red color, but man, it's a cool shirt. I love that line too. Gather several moments and leave songs behind. Hopefully that's not the one I forget now. So, without further ado, here's Into the Rafters. Happy birthday, Suze. Traveling through these mountains far from home, looking for the reason, looking for the road. Alone and in good company, I found a way to make myself a part of these towns. And all the while these birds find their way to the rafters. They don't know what they're after, like I can't reach you because you're too far away. Keep losing pieces I just can't carry. Wish we'd all stop spinning, cause these words weigh nothing when you're too far away. Never seen these turns we're taking, never been this way before. Couldn't wrap myself around it, couldn't take my eyes away. I'm not stopping long between these trips and choices. Gather several moments and leave songs behind. And all the while these birds find their way to the rafters. They don't know what the rafter like, and I can't reach you because you're too far away. Keep losing pieces, I just can't care. I wish we'd all stop spinning, cause these words weigh nothing when you're too far away. Myself in comfort with the things I've taken home. More gin and late nights help the morning come. When I can't hear the voice that loves me, I'm wrapped inside my memories, far from home. And all the while these birds find their way to the rafters. They don't know what they're after, like I can't reach you because you're far away. Keep losing pieces, I just can't carry. Wish we'd all stop spinning, cause these words weigh nothing when you're too far away. Yeah, that's Into the Rafters. The Red Shirt song. I get stressed out while my guitar goes out of tune while I'm playing, and then hey, thanks, Susie. I realize you can't really hear it that well anyway, so why worry, you know? I'm seeing a lot of thank yous for doing this. I want you all to know that I'm very much enjoying it. Even in days when I feel less prepared. Last week I had the set the night before and I was a little tired, and man, it was so rewarding and emotional, and I had a lot of positive reactions, and I've got a lot of guests coming up in the next couple weeks I'm really excited about too. It's like we're going to be busy for a lot of Sundays. Greensky used to play a May Erlewine song called The River Waltz. A long, long time ago. I looked, it's on the record she released it on, came out in 2007. And it reminds me, I played it a lot, but it reminds me a lot of several of my tunes too, which leads me to believe that she directly influenced those songs. And I was trying to do some math. 9 Days, also subject matter, a river. Similar style song. I think I wrote like the same time this record came out, so we either were on the same wavelength or I was just on that May train. But I'm going to play River Waltz for you here because it seemed like a good reason to relearn it. I realized too that I thought, I can't really point out what it is to write a great song, or what the trick is, or teach you how to do it if that's something you're looking for. But what I can do is tell you what I like about songs, and maybe that helps you write songs I like. This song I love in the last verse. There's a near rhyme. Near rhyme is my favorite thing. Because rhyming can be so darn predictable. Predictable's good though. It's what people like. So, um, she rhymes song with heaven, heavong. I love singing it too. So, River Waltz. The song also has a really badass harmony. If I could sing both parts at the same time, I would. I wish May could be here to sing one of the parts while I sang the other one. All right, this song is called "The River Waltz" by May Erlewine. Not much that matters, but the task in hand. We're busy building ladders to the promised land. There's not much worth fixing that's been busted apart. No mind for mending when they've broken your heart. Taking our troubles down to the river, and day after day the water turns bitter. I figure my mind, but as much as I figure, it's too soon to say if it's getting better. Not much worth saving, but the money you make for paving the road to the Golden Gate. There's not much worth saying if you can't fill your cup. No mind for talking when they've used you all up. Taking our troubles down to the river, and day after day the water turns bitter. I figure my mind that as much as I figure, it's too soon to say if it's getting better. Not much worth singing that ain't already in song. We're building a rocket to get to heaven. There ain't no good deeds they'll have to do. No mind forgiving when they've taken from you. Down to the river, and day after day the water turns bitter. I figure my mind, but as much as I figured, it's too soon to say if it's getting better. Yeah, that's The River Waltz by May Erlewine. So, if May is here, which I'm thinking she probably is, let's invite her to join the fun. May, are you out there? There you are. Nice timing, girl. Okay, May Erlewine from Michigan, my old friend, great songwriter. Hi, May.
Hi, Paul. Sounds so beautiful. Thanks for singing that one.
Oh, it's been a while. I love singing it. This time I took it down a step, made it a little easier for me.
Oh, were you doing it in the original key?
Usually I did, yeah. But that first line, I'd really have to scream for, and it just didn't feel dynamically right. So I did it in D.
Nice. Sounded beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me today.
Oh, it's a pleasure, and I just have been listening to your music all morning and loving it.
Aw, thanks, Paul.
Yeah. So how you been?
You know, I'm hanging in there. I feel very grateful and fortunate, and it's crazy ups and downs every day.
Yeah. You've been playing music on Mondays, I saw, live on your Instagram.
Yeah, I've been doing Mondays live on Facebook, Thursdays on Instagram.
Thursday's the show on Instagram, yeah.
Yeah, and it's been good, and that feels like a good amount, you know? It's like, and it's been fun to connect. Like you were saying earlier, it brings a lot of joy to my heart to get to connect with people and share music because, you know, it's what I'm used to doing. And like you know, you're usually gone so much. Must be crazy. It's crazy,
yeah,
being home and kind of wild too.
Yeah, and when I am home, I'm recovering and or preparing to leave again. So just to be home, end of sentence, is like a new experience.
Yeah, it must be so sweet to be with little Juniper and Michelle.
Yeah, it's great to be with my daughter. I'm sure you can relate
Yeah.
to have that time and not have to travel. Have you been writing much?
Yeah, I've been writing a good amount, and glad for that, you know. It's always, you never know whether you're going to be inspired or stunned by big events like this. So
yeah, the main motive for this show, or the thing that interests me the most talking to everybody, is just that experience between writing as a, you know, from inspiration versus as a task, as a creative worker. You know, sometimes you have to force the spirit to come out of you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like pressure to be productive since you're home right now and can't go out and play?
You know, I feel more pressure to like do stuff that I can't do at my house than I do to write. I don't really write well when I feel pressure, so I try to avoid that whole mentality around it because it just freaks me out to feel pressure. But I do have a good work ethic around it, and I got a lot of good stuff out of that book, the War of Art. Have you ever read that?
I have not.
It's very much about like making it serious, like your work is serious, and sitting down every day and getting to it. And so I try to take that mentality with it without like a pressure for an end result, I guess.
That's good. It sounds like a book I would really enjoy.
You'd love it. Stephen Pressfield wrote it. It's like even little like page by page you can get nuggets out of it. Theo recommended it to me, and it's kind of changed my way of thinking about it, which is nice.
You know, now that you say that, I think he may have recommended that book to me also.
I wouldn't be surprised. He preaches the gospel in a good way.
I love him too. I'm hoping to have him on here one day to talk songs.
Oh yeah.
Man, you have so many songs too. I was trying to count your catalog before coming on here, and it's spread over so many projects. I got up to like 12 albums maybe, like with the one with Seth, and then Daisy May records and records in your name, and there's a Sweetwater Warblers record now.
Yeah.
You write a lot of songs.
I do write a lot of songs.
For a long time.
For a long time. I love it. It's so fun. I mean, even if I didn't do it for a living, I think I would just still write most days, you know?
I believe you. God, that seems how you are. When you started writing songs, you were a teenager? Is that...
I picked up the guitar when I was like 11, I think, or 12, and I just immediately wrote a song. And then I was like, oh, this is cool. This is a thing that I want to do. And I've just been doing it since then.
Yeah, and at that time, influences were folk stuff like Bob Dylan or just all over the place. Anything specific?
The first song I learned on the guitar was Eric Clapton, "Wonderful Tonight,"
And that was one of my first too.
and I listened to a lot of Jimi Hendrix at that time, and like um, the Doors and Mariah Carey, and Bob Dylan and all that stuff too. And then I got really into Ani DeFranco and Ben Harper and like some of that music. And so I've always been all over the place with what influences me. So,
Hmm.
and my dad listened to a lot of eclectic stuff, which
Yeah, you grew up with music in the house with your family, right?
yeah, totally. You started writing really young too, right?
Yeah, I made a record when I was in high school, like a solo record.
I think
Um,
you showed it to me at your house a
I
long,
was
long time
I
ago.
was thinking about it today because I was looking for those older records of yours and I couldn't find them on the platform, just so the digital platforms, and then I realized they were under Daisy May. And when I too named myself something else when I was writing songs, a marathon, which is like a fictitious flower that never fades or withers, and I
Nice.
spelled it wrong on purpose because I liked it better. It's actually amaranthine. Um,
That's hilarious and great.
yeah, don't go look for that album on the internet, people. It's not there.
Is it there?
It's not. I hope to
Oh,
God.
oh.
Um,
Probably somewhere. I bet you somebody's dug up that treasure.
well, do you want to play a song for us?
Sure.
What are you gonna play?
I could play a new one.
I would love that.
Okay. Did you hear me? I told you I was dying. Did you wonder when I said that I was scared? Did you really think my heart was ever lying? That's like saying that my love was never there. When it all goes down, I'll be tangled up in blue. When it all goes down, cold hard truth will hit you right between the eyes. It'll drop you to your knees. Put a worry in your mind. Pull the rug out from underneath, all without a sound. When it all goes down, did you hear me when I told you I wasn't leaving? Did you wonder why I said I'd have to go? Did you really think my words would be misleading? That's like singing to a song you do not know. When it all goes down, I'll be tangled up in blue. When it all comes down, the cold hard truth will hit you right between the eyes. It'll drive you to your knees. Put a worry in your mind. Pull the world out from underneath, all without a sound. When it all goes down, did you hear me when I told you there was a light in? Did you wonder why the thunder met you there? Did you really think the storm was pretending? That's like saying there's no magic in the air. When it all goes down, I'll be tangled underneath, all without a sound. When it all goes down.
Yes, I love it.
Thanks, Paul.
And you've just recently written that?
Yeah, like a couple weeks ago, I think. Time is so weird right now.
Yeah, it's hard to know.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. You have a way with your songs of so simply stating like these raw emotions that everyone's feeling, and I feel like you convey them so passionately that it's like it's so moving. Your songs are so moving.
Aw, thanks, Paul.
You're welcome. So I've been listening to your newer records, and there's a lot more piano, which I really dig. You've been playing on the piano more, and are you writing on the piano as well?
Yeah, I've been playing it a lot more in my shows, especially when I'm doing trio shows.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just be bass drums, and then I'll play guitar and piano and switch back and forth, which is super fun. And I'm pretty simple and basic on the piano, but I'm getting more comfortable with what I can do. And I write on the piano more and more all the time.
It
Because
seems
I feel like it's easier for me to get voicings that I want.
It's like you read about that, and there's so many songwriters that find their way to the piano after so long, and then it changes the voicing style of the way they write.
Yeah.
It sounds great on your records, though. Just like I feel like it fits with a delicacy to your voice. It's just so beautiful the way the piano sustains.
Yeah, I love the piano. I think it might be my favorite, like, kind of accompaniment instrument. It's just like so, I don't know, so pretty, and it's moody. So
yeah.
since I write emotional stuff, it just seems like it works. But Woody played piano on Mother Lion, and I just and Tyler and I wrote a lot of the parts, and then Woody made them magical and added his own parts too. And then with Second Sight, Tyler and I worked on all the parts together, and he played all the piano on the record, mostly, I think. So it was really fun, but I just kind of become attached to it, I think.
It sounds great. I love it.
Oh, thanks.
So you claim to write emotional songs too. What's that like for you when you write? Do you feel like you're just drawn to that rawness in the lyrics, or do you write from like a very emotional state? Like if you're troubled with something, is songwriting how you deal with it, or how's that a part of your process?
That's a great question. I think it's some of all of it, right? Because it always is. But I feel like I'm always sort of digging down to the very essence of the thing. So if it's like a feeling or a subject that I'm talking about that's based on a feeling, it's like I just keep kind of gnawing at it till I get down to like the bone of the thing. And there's a quote of Neil Young where he's just like, what am I trying to say? And I think about that all the time when I'm writing, like, what am I actually trying to say here? That's like the essence of the thing is what I'm trying to get down to. So I think that leads me most of the time. It's just to get to the rawest place with it that I can. And then sometimes I have to backpedal backwards because it's too raw or too simple, But I'm a pretty simple writer, both in chords and lyrics, And so I think that helps sometimes to get to a raw place because it's just there's not a lot of extra stuff there. So it better be pretty close to the truth. Otherwise, it's not going to be very worthwhile, because there's no like extra stuff to buffer it.
Yeah.
So it feels naked, I guess, in that way. But sometimes I'm writing from a place of just like almost crying or feeling, intense rage or intense whatever, sadness. And that's good too. But I don't like to fake getting to that place to get a song. You know what I mean?
You're not just, yeah, it's not like for a fact. With this, and the way you talk about it like that, the simplicity of the lyrics maybe like sort of like forces you to be true to the emotion. Like you really have to honor the feeling because you're not putting a lot of extra words out there to describe the intricacies of what that heartache feels like, or it's just like this direct confrontation. It's like it has to be so honest. It's so interesting to hear you say it that way. That's what I'm hearing and thinking. And all the writers I talk to agree simple is the hardest, because, you know, we're trying to be creative here, but you're also limited to this small format. You know, like I've written some longer format stuff, stories, and I never wrote a novel, but it's not like writing a song. You only have these couple stanzas.
Yeah.
And you're conveying this big thing, and you're doing it so effectively and efficiently. Your voice conveys more of it to me than the words sometimes, just the way you sing stuff and the way you tie melodies. Like, I find myself just goosebumping all the time.
Aw. Yeah, man. Well, I mean, those are the people I look to, or my heroes do that. So I've definitely like followed a path of the like simple writer, you know. But it is hard, and I like scrap so much stuff all the time because I'm like, it's like a big rat's nest. It's not good. Like, I don't know where I'm going with it. Forget
Yeah.
it. Like, I'll come back to it later maybe or whatever. But it's hard. Sometimes I trap myself in that too, you know. So
Yeah,
yeah.
you get kind of trapped in your voice or your technique. I feel that way a lot. Like, I'm trying to do something new and different and be creative, but then I tell myself that what I normally do is what I'm good at, and struggle with like what that line is, like how much I'm supposed to be experimenting and how much I'm supposed to just being true to my voice and, you know, my style.
Yeah. I feel that too. It's hard. I don't know. I plagiarize myself a lot. Like, I've written a lot of the same kind of songs, you know? Like, I don't know if it's okay or not, but it's like, here we are.
I think so. That's what I do. That's what people do. I mean, look at John Prine songs are all pretty similar too. And I don't really feel like, I guess I don't know what his opinion of that was, or if he struggled with that thing. But do you usually write alone or solo? I know that with the with the Warblers project, you did a little co-writing.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a new thing or unusual, or?
I've done some here and there, mostly with the Warblers.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the most consistent like co-writing I've done. But I've done it over time. I like it. It's fun. It feels like a different space, and sometimes it can be a little squirmy because like you're used to having control over the land.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like, oh, what is it then? Like, and so.
Yeah.
But we had a really great time writing together. We brought in Maya DeVitri too, as a fourth writer for the record, and that really I think was great, having that extra voice that wasn't kind of enmeshed in the Warbler thing. And she's
Mm-hmm.
an incredible writer, and just has a lot of skill, and kind of good ideas to lend. So it was a fun process. It didn't feel labored. It felt easy. And right now I'm just starting to do more co-writes with people I don't know at all. Just to like, I'd love to just write songs, you know, most of the time. And so
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out more of doing that because it's really my favorite thing to do of all the musical realms of performing or teaching or whatever. Writing is by far the thing that I feel like I have the most to offer. So I'm trying to figure it out, but it's a new world.
How has the writing with strangers process been rewarding? Are you
Just did my first one yesterday.
I'm curious to find out, you know, like to what extent you learn new things and new tricks, and also when you learn how you might learn to appreciate the things you do well, because you'll present something to someone you don't know and they'll be like, I really like that, and you'll think, well, I do that all the time. So to be reminded that what you do is great is important for any creative process.
Yeah, I'm excited and curious to see. Yesterday was a huge learning experience, so I feel like it's gonna be really good for me. It's a little scary, and I got nervous, you know, and I'm awkward, so you know, I just all the things that you could worry about. But it was really fun, and I learned.
It's a little vulnerable. Did you do it in a format like this?
Yep, we did FaceTime, and then we had like a shared document we were working out of for
Oh,
the
cool.
writing part, and it went really fluid. Like, it was fluid and fun and like cool. So I felt good about it, but it was just a lot of new things. Like, what's helpful in a co-writing situation? You know, do you say everything you're thinking? Probably not.
Yeah, that's
but you got to
interesting.
say some of the hard stuff to keep it moving, you know. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I did a co-write one time with a friend of mine, Chris Galbuta in Nashville, and he brought Sean Camp, and the three of us wrote a song together just in a day. And I kind of had that same experience where there were things I didn't like and things I did like, but we all kind of left it in a way that it was like if someone was going to use it, that they sort of had the freedom to change it, or, you know, if I was going to record it, I could have changed whatever I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been recorded, but it was, I didn't know Sean that well at the time either. So we just kind of sat down and dug in.
Yeah, it is like a very personal space. At one point, we were both writing in the document our ideas, and she was like, "I've never had anyone look at me write my ideas down before." She's like, "It feels really personal."
Well, because yeah, when I write them down, I then edit based on visual things. You know, like if I'm having trouble finishing a song, I'll type it up. I used to write it down, now I type it, and then I'm like, oh, I use that same word structure 4 times in a row. If I flip that, but if someone was watching me, they'd be seeing it before I see it in
Mm-hmm.
some way. That's very
That's
vulnerable.
scary. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wish you the best of luck for that. Anyone who writes songs with you is lucky, in my opinion.
Oh, thanks, Paul. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'll learn from it. I know that.
And for the next song, are you going to play My Request?
I was going to. Yeah. It feels like it just gets more relevant all the time.
Oh, I listened to it today, and I was singing it to Juniper, and there's the line of my daughter's future, and my hairs on my legs were standing up. It's like, and the presentation on that whole record, the sound on that record is so amazing and beautiful. May Erlewine's newest record, for those of you watching along here, Second Sight, is what we're talking about, and some real powerful political stuff, and you're always, you know, kind of speaking from a place for women and for people that are less privileged, and there's a lot of real triumphant underdog morale stuff on there. I didn't say that very well.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, I really tried to go in there. It was tricky territory, and not everybody appreciated it, but it was a really intense and fulfilling process, I think, to get in there with all those issues and what's happening in our country and try to write about it from a heart space, not a head space. Whew.
Yeah, I mean, the videos too, there's videos you can look up on the internet, everyone watching, that are so powerful. And I commend your honesty and bravery for just putting that foot forward. And, you know, they matter. The songs matter to me, and I think they matter to a lot of people.
Thanks, Paul. That means a lot. I appreciate you listening to it. Well, should I talk about the song or just play the song?
I would love for you to talk. Anything you want to say about it, I would love to hear.
So this is a song that I wrote after the results of the election of the current president. And I wrote it after almost a few months of depression. And I went to my therapist and I said, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I feel like I'm personally wounded for the first time by a political election. And she said that women all over the country were feeling this way. And that all of her other therapists, you know, friends and people that were working in that industry were all saying that they were seeing this. Women were coming and saying they were just almost ill from sorrow and felt violated. And so it just struck me so hard that that one person could do so much damage to the state of so many hearts. And I got to thinking about my daughter and her sort of legacy that she's coming into, and what was I gonna say for her sake, you know? And so I decided I felt like I was like in this relationship with this person that I don't know that had complete power over me, and so I sat down and I wrote a letter, and I wrote it not like Dear Mr. President, but as if I were writing to like a lover or someone that I cared about very deeply, and then it sort of turned into the song. And so this is a song kind of as a cry for our leadership to be acting in everyone's best interest. Everyone that calls this place home, no matter where they're from or what they look like or what their pay stub says. So it's called That's My Home. Looking for a reason why you do the things you do. You know you tear me right into do. It's like treason, trespassing on my dreams. Little fragile ones I see come true. 'Cause that's my heart, that's my heart, that's my heart, setting on fire. That's my hope, you're burning. That's my future, dancing on a wire, on fire. If there's an answer, then I have yet to see what all of this will be in the end. I was a dancer, now I'm struggling in a room. But I will rise, I will break through, move again. 'Cause that's my heart, that's my heart, that's my heart, setting on fire. That's my hope, burning. That's my future, dancing on a wire, on fire. If there's a way, then I will seek out every turn, just to keep from getting burned by the flames. Not to say that the path ahead is easy. I know change is hard to see through the blaze. That's my heart, that's my heart, that's my heart, setting on fire. That's my hope, burning. That's my future, dancing on wire, on fire. Yeah, that's my heart, that's my heart, that's my heart, setting on fire. That's my hope, burning. My daughter's future, dancing on fire, on fire. That's my home, you're burning down.
Ah, man.
Oh,
That song makes me cry.
yeah.
But you know, I like there's in songs of yours like that, I feel this like hope. I don't what I was trying to say earlier about how you're triumphing the cause. Like you're saying some things that are sad and make my heart feel heavy, but you convey them in a way that's like, I don't know, hopeful for change, or it's the motive for change or the impetus for making it better somehow. Like it doesn't, your songs feel, they lift me. They make me sad and lift me.
Aw, I'm glad. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for listening and caring.
Well, thank you so much for coming today to my basement.
This is
Playing
so
songs.
awesome. Thank you for doing this and for sharing all these different songs with folks and having a good feeling thing on a Sunday. It's so nice.
Thanks. Yeah, take care of yourself, write some more songs, and we'll talk soon.
You too. I can't wait to hear the new songs that you got coming out of this, and I just appreciate it. I'm honored to be here today.
Thanks, May.
Yeah, take care, Paul.
All right, everybody. That's May Erlewine. She has lots of music online. Sweetwater Warblers, May Erlewine, or Real Old Stuff, Daisy May on Spotify. It's all real beautiful like that. So, if you've watched the show before, I'm going to take a quick break, then come back and play another song and have Ryan Montbleau. Only like 1 minute. I just have to start a new one or we'll get cut off, and no one likes that. So we'll be back for part 2.